Here are the most common mistakes to avoid when working with a telescopic or articulated boom lift. Mistake 1. Operating the equipment without training. When you are not familiar with a piece of equipment, you risk making a mistake while maneuvering. Before operating a telescopic or articulated boom lift, it is mandatory to have completed both the theoretical and practical components of a certified training course and to have undergone refresher training every 5 years. Always familiarize yourself with the equipment being used and the safety rules. Mistake 2. Neglecting the inspection of the equipment. If preventative inspection is neglected, there is a risk of not detecting problems that could cause failures and accidents. The operator must perform a visual and functional inspection every day or at the start of each shift and complete the inspection form. If the equipment is defective or broken, do not use it and notify your supervisor. A trained and qualified technician must perform an inspection every 200 hours or according to the manufacturer's recommendations, and an annual inspection every year or every 700 hours. A trained technician must also perform an inspection under the supervision of an engineer 10 years after the equipment's construction and every 5 years thereafter, after an incident that caused structural damage, and after a change of ownership. Mistake 3. Working on unstable ground. Unstable ground can cause the equipment to tip over. Before moving, ensure that the terrain is free of bumps, holes, and debris. Before starting to move, the equipment must rest on a stable surface and be level. You need to check that the ground is still adequate after showers and during freeze-thaw periods. Never drive on slopes that exceed the maximum values established by the manufacturer. Always stay 3 meters or more away from any excavation. Mistake 4. Driving recklessly. There is a risk of causing property damage and bodily injury when driving carelessly. Always drive slowly, avoiding sharp turns and turns on slopes, and keep a safe distance from any obstacle. And keep your eyes in the direction you are going. Avoid reversing as much as possible and only reverse over very short distances. When the site is busy, a signaler has to assist you. Mistake 5. Not planning a safety perimeter. Pedestrians can be injured when you are moving or maneuvering. That's why it's essential to set up a safety perimeter to prevent workers from moving in the operation zone. This way, they are protected against crushing injuries and objects falling from the platform. Mistake 6. Not identifying overhead obstacles. There is a risk of inadvertently hitting something or someone. Before any movement, you need to make sure that there are no obstacles or structures in the path of the articulated arm or work platform. Also, make sure you avoid sudden movements and swinging the platform. And avoid operating multiple controls at the same time. Mistake 7. Not being secured or being improperly secured. When working on a telescopic or articulated boom lift, there is a risk of being ejected from the platform. It is mandatory to wear a harness and to attach yourself to the designated anchorage point of the platform. Note that a guardrail is not a compliant anchorage point. Also, make sure that doors or chains are closed and engaged at all times. Mistake 8. Leaving the platform floor. By leaving the floor, there is a risk of falling. Never climb or lean over the guardrail. Do not use a plank, ladder, or other equipment to reach something that is out of reach. Keep all body parts inside the platform during movements and maneuvers. By the way, it's prohibited to use a platform to transfer people from one floor to another. Mistake 9. Not respecting load limits. If the load limits are not respected, the equipment may tip over. A maximum of 2 people may be allowed on the platform at the same time. Boom lifts are designed to lift workers with their tools and materials, not to lift loads. You must always respect the load limit indicated in the manufacturer's manual and on the data plate. Mistake 10. Using the platform in bad weather conditions. Wind can cause a tip over when the mast is deployed. It's important to respect the maximum values with the mast fully extended and avoid operating the equipment during thunderstorms. Mistake 11. Working too close to power lines. You can get too close to the wires without realizing it. When possible, avoid maneuvers under power lines. But when it's not possible, make sure to respect the approach distance. The platform must be equipped with a range limiter. Remember that telescopic or articulated boom lifts are designed to lift people. If you want to lift loads, use a forklift. Turn to the APCHQ's prevention programs and action sheets for more details and all the safety instructions you need to know.